beautiful, beautiful day, and hopefully the beginning of a wonderful weekend and a wonderful Shabbat. Cantor Michelle is taking some well-deserved time this evening, enjoying Shabbat with his family. So I will be welcomed with Sharon and Ido. So please, you're very far away from me, I'm realizing. Okay, so please join us on page 636 for Yedid Nefesh, which, by the way, is a love story. Do you know that Shabbat is actually a love story? Shabbat is a love story between God and the Jewish people. And this prayer, Yedid Nefesh, is like talking about the darling of my soul. And it's trying to rekindle those flames, and it's kind of as if God is wooing us or we're wooing God so we can kind of appreciate the joy and the spark in that relationship. Page 636. On page 129, we read together, "We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift up our hearts in prayer." On page 130. Bring your jazz on. Page 132, the bottom of the page.
Tzadik zaru ala tzadik, 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 ולשללה שמחה, ולשללה Tzadik zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik, ולשללה שמחה, ולשללה שמחה, ולשללה שמחה, ולשללה שמחה. Oh
page 134.
Ladonai kol haaretz, Ladonai kol haaretz, Ladonai kol haaretz. Yitzchu v'ranenu v'zameru, v'ranenu v'zameru, v'ranenu v'zameru. Zaru l'Adonai b'chilo.
So before we go into L'chadodi, which is, again, part of our love story, so we're courting each other. I don't know, we all came in, usually we're at work or school or schlepping the grandchildren around, and we're exhausted, and it takes a little bit of time to get us kind of in the mood for Shabbat. But what happens when you have a day off, and the sun is gorgeous and shining? We're kind of already in the mood. At least I am. I don't know. You guys are smiling, so that tells me you are too. But it's so now we get to the real love story and the love song, L'chadodi, where we're at the wedding, right? This is the marriage. We're making our vows. We've got this commitment between us and God. We say, we're going to be here for you week in and week out. We're going to remember you. We're going to honor you. We're hoping you're going to remember us too and honor us too. And that's what it's about. But before we go into it, I want to invite you not just to welcome God or welcome the Shabbat spirit, but welcome each other. So get up, like literally stand up if you're able, and introduce yourself to someone you don't know, wish them a Shabbat Shalom, and come back down.
I hope I'm not throwing you off.
דודי לקראת כלה בעיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בעיני שבת נקבלה שמו ושכו בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו תפארת ונצילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בעיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בעיני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו בנחה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה השבת תפילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בעיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בעיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי התעוררי כי בעולך קומי אורי שתדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך מילה לך דודי לקראת
seated. We continue on page 140. Ms. Moshier, an oldie but a goodie.
מזמור ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. והגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלה הסור ועלה הנה, ועלה היגיון בחינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדול מעשיך אדוני, מאוד ענפו מחשבותיך. איש רעי לא ידע, וכסיל לא יביא לעצות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה יפרח, כארז בלבנון, בלבנון יזכה, שתולי אל בית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו, יפריחו עוד ינובון בסבב, ישנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד, כי ישר אדוני צורי, ולא עברתה.
So, you will soon learn about me. One of my favorite things in the entire world is the ocean. And no offense to Melbourne, I've been here for 10 years, and what Melbourne calls a beach is what Melbourne calls a beach. I miss my waves. And, the bay just doesn't do it for me. I love the waves. I love the mighty roar of the waves. I love the power of the waves. I love that nature all comes together. The wind pushes the water against the land. There's no fire in that, but it's just beautiful, majestic. It is a celebration of the power of nature. And it reminds me, in a world that we have technology coming out of our pores, and we're rushing and we're trying to do so much, and we're trying to control everything, but we can't. And the Buddhists have it really good. They get that. They relinquish control. It's a beautiful thing. Psychology, we talk about mindfulness. It's, Jews, that's what we try to do in our prayer. We try to be mindful. We try to be in the present moment. And we try to practice humility. And so when we sit, and for me, when I'm at the beach and I listen to the sound of the waves and I'm at one with nature, it reminds me that I'm not in control, and it's okay. I forget that during most of my life, but it's okay. And I love that. And one of the other things, totally not related, but sitting between Ido and Sharon and listening, again, enveloped in your voices, it's so beautiful. I'm not in control, but I'm enveloped in this beautiful sound that's bigger than me. And that's, I think, what prayer is all about. We're going to do a melody. Some of you may know it. It's a Nava Tehillah melody for Mikalot Maim Rabim. It talks about the power of the oceans and the waves and so forth. It's on page 141. It's 6 lines up from the bottom. And if you know it, Please join us.
Mikolot
Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai Adir Bamarom Adonai. Thank you. So now, are we all in the mood for Shabbat? Have we changed our psychological, spiritual state? We're ready? It means it's time to light our candles. I'd like to call up Maureen Barton, president of the PJV, Progressive Judaism Victoria, to light our candles tonight. Oh my God. Amen. Thank you. We continue and we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144.
Yitzkada v'yitzkada shemei rabah.
Amen.
Ve'hama tifrah hiroteh, ve'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bahagara, bahagara, ubizman kariv. Ve'imeru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'aramua me'amaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, ve'yitbarach, ve'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitada, v'yitale, v'yitaral, shemei dekodesha, v'yichu, le'na min kol bechata, ve'shira, tushbechata v'nechemata v'amiran be'alma ve'imeru Amen. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 148, reading Ma'ariv Aravim. We go from the oceans to the stars. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhma potech sha'arim, u'bigvuna meshane itim, u'mechalif et hazmanim, u'misader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. אהבת עולם את ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו, קומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונצמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה, נגי יומם בלילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר, עמנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד, מלכותו לעולם, לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, ובשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו הציצית הכנף פתיר תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריכם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר
הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On the top of page 157, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. On page 160, when we recite the prayer, the Hashkivenu, it's a prayer asking God to protect us, right? A Sukkat Shalom, a shelter of peace when times are difficult. Interesting, the reading that we just did for the Michamocha was all about trying to get through you have to go through the wilderness. You have to go through a difficult time to reach Sinai, right? If life was eternally fabulous, how would we know it, right? Interesting idea. And when we go through those difficult times, we need a helping hand. And they come to us in different ways from different people or different sources. This is one source on page 160.
השיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'amidenu malkenu
On page 162, Ido's famous melody. Again, get your jazz on.
ושם השביעי, שבת נפשו ביום השביעי, שבת נפשו.
We're going to rise for the Amidah on page 164. We're going to say the first three prayers very quickly and then continue silently until page 180 when you may be seated.
Adonai sefotay tiftach ufi yagid tehiratecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim ve'Koneh Hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל מחכה חיים בחסד מחיים מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בגבורות ומדום מלך במיצור חייהו ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. עושה שלום במרומיו בטבת, ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו,
Pardon the Santa Claus ho 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 that came out in the middle of that, but I always feel, some of you may have heard me give the analogy. I grew up in America, and the Southern Baptists, if you've ever been to a Southern Baptist service, it's like amazing. I don't know what it's like here. I haven't been to a Baptist thing, but a very, very good friend of our family's was a Baptist minister, and it was just magical. I loved it because, like, literally the space was pulsating, and they'd just call out and they'd scream. If you go to Chabad, sometimes you see it like that too. But I think, to me, a goal, we're supposed to do it with our body, with our hearts, with our souls. So I do. I hope you guys can too, feel comfortable with that. All right, short drash because time is running out. So what am I going to talk about when it has really kind of a painful parsha? This week's parsha repeats last week's parsha, talking about the 5 different sacrifices. Incredible, riveting stuff about how you sprinkle the fats and sprinkle the blood and cut the fats, and how you divide it up. There are 5 different sacrifices, each representing something different. You have the burnt offering, that something is so bad it has to completely disappear. You have the asham offering, which is the guilt offering. Need I explain that? You have the chatat offering, which is the sin offering. Right? The guilt offering actually isn't about feeling guilt. It's about doing something that you are guilty for. Like, you did something wrong and you bear the guilt. The chatat offering is, oops, I did something wrong and I made a mistake, by accident, not intentionally. I hurt someone's feelings. I got in a car accident. I said the wrong thing. I yelled ho, ho, ho in a Jewish synagogue. A chatat offering. Then you have the mincha offering that really doesn't have a reason. It's just 'cause. And then you have the zevach shlamim, the offering of well-being, of peace. It's a peacemaking thing. We actually still need those things today, right? Mincha, we need our bread. But no, except for you, Fred. But we need to make up. We do wrong things on purpose. We do wrong things on accident. So what do I want to say about it? This afternoon, I took a walk with my husband and a good friend of ours, and I was listening to their stories. I couldn't even speak because I get very emotional when I hear these things. And they were talking about, our friend was talking about going to a fundraising event with raising money for children or schools in Uganda. And she and her daughter had traveled recently to Uganda, and she brought her daughter there. And it was a beautiful event. And afterwards, she went up to the presenter to say it was a beautiful event, and noticed that the presenter was wearing a Magen David. And she said, "Wow, you're wearing a Magen David. You know, are you Jewish?" And she says, "That's a Jewish star." She says, "I know, it's a Magen David." She said, "It's a Jewish star." She says, "I know." She says, "No, I'm not Jewish, but I work on Balaclava Street, and there's a lot of Jewish people there, and I want them to know that I'm safe, that this is a safe space for them." And I thought, God, that's amazing. That was so amazing. And then I also heard about a non-Jewish teacher in a Jewish day school. Two stories. I'll start with a bad one, then I'll do the good one. One of the people that work in the school is informal education, going on and listening to a university lecture at their university entitled "Settler Occupation and the Gaza Genocide," a university subject that is happening right now. And as the person was going through the slides, the person saw various things, including the fact that the Israeli government actually denied the fact that 40 babies were killed on October 7th. This was being taught in a university class here in Melbourne. And I was horrified, absolutely horrified. And then I heard a story about a non-Jewish person, a teacher or someone who works in the school, who is part of, actually comes from a Lebanese community, and went and, you know, listening to all this stuff that's going on in that person's community, and is starting to speak and hearing everything that's going on at the Jewish school, and learning different perspectives, and being exposed to different stories and different narratives. And this person said, "I want to be your voice when you can't speak." And I thought, amazing. We don't hear enough of those stories. We don't share enough of those stories. And when I think about the asham, the guilt, the intentional wrongs that people are doing, the spreading of fake news, but I think so much more of it is accidental ignorance, information, but they're spreading it anyway because that's what they get, and they hear it, and that's what we're in the world of doing. And so many young people, or people of all ages, we only get now what our social media feeds us with, right? This is programmed to feed us what we want, more of the same. Actually, Principal Mark Light last year gave a talk that I heard, which was actually really brilliant. And he said one of the problems that our students and our society is facing today is that we're just getting more and more of what we already know. Right? We don't hear the other side. We don't understand it. You know, listening to Gwenda's talk yesterday, true journalism is all about not having a bias, objectivity. I don't know about you, but I can honestly say I can't be objective. Like, I can own that. It's too hard. It's too hard to be 100% objective. But I recognize that not everything I hear is 100% true on any side. And I recognize that there's a lot of people, a lot of innocent people that are being harmed, killed, psychologically messed up for generations, both in Israel and in Gaza and around the world. There are a lot of people that are being hurt. And to deny one truth doesn't make it right. So as I read the Parsha and I think, okay, well, where's my guilt? I'm not actively going and searching other media sources. I'm not hearing the other side. I don't want to, being honest. But I probably should. It's probably good for me. Maybe you guys do it. What do I do accidentally? Do I perpetuate things when I don't know where they're coming from? I don't know. But I do know that just like the Parsha ends with the Zevach Shlamim, the offering, the peace offering, so must we eventually end with the peace offering. And the peace offering, just like we read in that prayer, we have to walk through that wilderness. And I don't know how long we're going to be doing that walk. We've got the dance for a bit longer now. But there is an end. There always is. There always is. You guys who've lived longer than me know that better than I do. But there's always an end. And as long as we remember that the Zevach Shlamim, the peace offering, is always there, we just need to be ready to give it. And part of that is owning our own asham and chatat, right? Our own guilt and our own mistakes, and calling other people out on theirs, right? And to be appreciative of the fact that there are people out there who are supporting us and are making our voice known. Tell those stories, not only the horrible ones. It makes us feel better. It reminds us that there are good people in the world, and that the world doesn't have to be binary, us versus them, because we're all us. And we're all stronger when we come together for that Zevach Shlamim. We rise for the Aleinu on page 586, 586.
לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא,
I realized I forgot to light that, which is Cantor Michelle's custom to light it in memorial for all of those who have died during this conflict. At my old congregation, it's Chaim. We actually left an unlit candle there, so it's unintentionally keeping that tradition. And the unlit candle was actually in memory of all of the hostages that are still there, and we cannot light it until they come and they're returned for us. So in that vein, Eden Yerushalmi 24 was taken captive from the Supernova rave music concert. A bartender from Tel Aviv had gone to celebrate with his friend. The second child of 3 daughters, her sister stayed on the phone with her for hours as she escaped the car with her friends that had died and moved into the thicket. Reminding her to breathe, they said they stayed connected for hours until they heard gunshots, and Yerushalmi cried, "They caught me," and after that the phone went dead. Those we remember: Michael Ostrovsky, 77, from Ofakim, was murdered at Kibbutz Magen, where he was on duty that morning when terrorists approached and shot him. At this time, we remember in our community Heinz Werner Abrams, Eva Ballant, Roger Bancroft, Kenneth Barton, and Margot Eager. We also remember Otto Fleischman, Hannah Forshaw, Eva Friedlander, Mary Graff, Werner Graff, Lou Green, Saul Hendler, Hella Hurling, Josephine Moore, Rebecca Phillips, Sam Rybolov, Haiti Esme Sharp, Joan Snyder, David Shalom Sonnenberg, and Naftali Henry Sonnenberg. Rachel Sonnenberg, and Carl Wellish. Is there anyone else in mourning or observing yahrzeit? If only I had that. Let's see, it's right there. In Shiva, thank you. We remember her, thank you. Herschel Cohen, Jane Beer, Susan Ballant, John Kaufman, and Inga Rubin. In Shloshim, we remember Edith Spencer, Mary Poznaski, Marilyn Himes, Isaac Finkelstein, Sylvia Isser, and Edith Stanton. Thank you. Those in mourning or observing yahrzeit? Jill Pepper. Lancaster. Ralph Samuels. Was it? Gregory Punk. And for all of those who have died needlessly, and for those who have no one left to remember them, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. On page 598, the Kadisha tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam umei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Please be seated. I know you don't normally do announcements on Friday, but there's some amazing things coming up that you don't want to miss. I need to give you
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Yep. I just wanted to let you all know that next Friday night, Kabbalat Shabbat, we are going to be blessed with some young talent from Sydney, a klezmer fusion band who is here doing a concert on Thursday night will be joining us for the service. The band's name is called Chutney, so they will join us. And
the concert on Thursday night is not here. The
No,
concert's at Kadima, so sign up for it. It'll be awesome.
And this Wednesday night, join us for the last of this current Scholars Series. Nick Drayenfirth, who's a member of our synagogue, will be speaking to those who join us, the last of the informed response to October 7. And you'll be getting lots of information about Pesach and the upcoming festival. So book for the second night Seder, for the women's Seder on the 14th, and the chocolate Seder. You'll be totally Sedered out. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you. All right, we rise for Kiddush on page 122. ויערב ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבה מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי.
L'chaim.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikraye kodesh, zecher L'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai mekadesh L'chaim. Enjoy your weekend. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Can we do challah?
Thank you for reminding me. What would Shabbat be without the challah? Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi
Hamotzi
lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Oh well. Shabbat shalom.